Hi, everybody, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 36 of Power Networking Media's weekly feature program, Spotlight on Small Business. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm your host, Moshe Klein. Spotlight introduces you to successful small business owners who share content and information that you don't want to miss. Today, I'm very pleased to welcome my friend and networking partner, Jim Bilello. Jim is the president at US Marketing, and he's truly a catalyst for small business. Jim, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Moshe. I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, it's my pleasure to have you here for two reasons. One is because I love talking to you, Jim. I always learn from you every time we speak, but I scheduled you to be the first interview of the new year because I do think that you have a message that our small business owners and listeners and networking partners need to hear. So I guess my first question is tell us what message small business owners need to hear and what pain point does US Marketing solve?
Sure. So that's a great question. And as president of US Marketing, we're Google Premier Agency partners. For the last 10 years, we practiced the best practices recommended by Google to appear on page one of Google with an advertisement. There's so much confusion today amongst small business owners about the difference between SEO, which is non-advertised appearance on page one, and SEM, which is search engine marketing or pay-per-click advertising. Now, the pain point we solved, Moshe, is that this is a simple test that any of your viewers or listeners can try at home, either on their phone or computer. If they enter their business, service, or product without their name, without their business name or their exact location. So if you're an accountant near me or CPA near me. If you're a landscaper or an interior decorator, same, but without your name. What you'll see is that there are literally millions of searches, and there are only 10 organic SEO listings. So the pain point we solve is that with a daily budget that a business owner feels comfortable with, they can have their ad appear on page one of Google for a cost per click. And when their budget is exhausted, their ads come down for the day, they go back up the next day. So this solves the pain point of appearing on page one for highly competitive searches.
Jim, you know, what you just talked about in the last 60 seconds is something that we would not even do justice to if we spoke about it for an hour. Regretfully, we only have a few moments, so I want to pull on one or two threads quickly based upon what you said. So I am an accountant, as you know, and everybody else knows. And when you Google accountants or accountants near me or tax preparers, you know, you have thousands of them around the country that have websites, but like you said, only a handful come up. So let's pull on the thread of how does somebody like me, just a simple accountant that wants to make a living, support his family, get pushed to the top. I
Yes.
do want to actually ask you to add in the difference between an ad, a paid ad on Google, and you know, just sort of SEO, as you touched on.
Yes.
So take it away from there.
Yeah. So a couple things that your listeners will benefit from is that they should, which is no charge, it's free. Google offers a free Google My Business map listing. So anybody can and should be sure that they go to business.google.com and search for their business and make sure that they own that listing. That's a free service. Now, the problem with the Google My Business listing is that it is map or geocentric, meaning it will show up when somebody is right in their area, but only 3 free map listings show at the top of the page. And then there's a button that says other places, and there's dozens of them. So the freebie is go to business.google.com, make sure you have a listing. However, to show up at the top of the page consistently, you would need a Google Ads or pay-per-click program, which is what we specialize in. So as you know, Moshe, we can go into any geography down to the zip code level, and we can create a proposal that will suit a small business owner's monthly advertising budget for as little as $500 or $600 a month, depending on the geography. Their ads will appear and they will get leads. Now, where we encounter difficulty is sometimes people will say, well, I want to cover the entire Phoenix market area or the entire Chicago market area of millions of people. And I have $10 a day and I have to break the news. It's just not enough. So we either have to narrow the geography severely, or we have to wish them well because it's just not enough to advertise in a market like that.
Jim, as an accountant, I have visibility to all the financials for our small business clients, and some of them are doing quite well. The majority of them are trying to grow their business. And while they might be growing their business each year, their advertising budget may not be growing as fast as they need it to be or would like it to be. So I want you to be clear for our listeners that your suggested budget of $500 a month is a suggested budget based upon your experience to cover an adequate geographical area. But people can start out smaller. Number one, they can control the budget. And number two, they can increase it or decrease it as they see fit and based upon your guidance. So could you just talk quickly about that, Jim?
Sure. So one of the things that we do as Google Premier Partners is we show you inside your real Google Ads account. We will give you reports, of course. However, there are over 1,000 menus inside the report. So like what you do, Moshe, as a CPA, while people can file their own taxes, who has the time to stay up with 70,000 pages of tax code? It's similar with Google. So we get paid to manage and we'll advise how many times a client's ads are shown out of 100%. Just this morning, I had to break the news to a man who is receiving good leads that his ads are only showing up 10% of the time. And he's trying to cover multiple states throughout the United States. So his $45 a day budget simply isn't enough. He'll either have to reduce that geography or increase the budget. Even though he is getting some leads, if your ads are only showing up 1 out of every 10 searches, that's not great.
Jim, I've been in business for so many years, and I've said to clients thousands of times over those years that trying to manage a small business without accurate financial reports is like trying to drive a car with a blindfold on. And I know you well enough, and I know that you're respected highly enough in the industry that I do think people would do well for themselves and their small business to reach out to you for a free consultation, to learn a little bit more, to take this brief conversation to the next level, to better understand Google AdWords and the guidance that you as a professional in the industry can provide so they can get the biggest bang for whatever their advertising budget is. Isn't that correct, Jim?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and we offer free consultations. You can easily schedule one by simply going to our website at www.usmarketing.bz. Just those 2 letters, B like boy, Z like zebra, usmarketing.bz, and we'll be happy to talk to you.
Jim, we have less than 60 seconds left, and I can't close without asking you to just briefly touch on what I learned from you just a short while ago, is that Google actually owns YouTube, and how those 2 services that are priceless and free for small business owners have synergies that can, let's say, give a little more power to the punch. Can you touch on that real quick?
Absolutely. So in less than 60 seconds, make sure that your small business has a free YouTube channel. And you don't have to have thousands of dollars of professional production and videos. The iPhones and the Androids are quite capable. So a few interviews with happy clients or a demonstration of your product or service, keep it to less than 60 seconds. 30 seconds is better. And if you do decide to advertise, we can actually include those videos in your Google ads. But just the free Google YouTube video will help you from an SEO or non-paid basis.
Well, Jim, we are out of time, sadly. So before I give you a chance to provide your contact information, please promise me that you'll come back again soon as a return guest so we can continue the discussion, continue exploring powerful tools that small business owners can and should take advantage of. So what's the best way for our listeners to reach you, Jim?
So I jumped the gun and I already gave my website, but I will give my office phone number as well.
Please.
For those that prefer to call. That's area code 847-574-6940. That's area code 847-574-6940. And yes, Moshe, I'm very grateful for the opportunity today. Would be happy to come back again.
Wonderful. Jim Bilello, president at US Marketing and Google Guru. That's a tongue twister. Try to say that 3 times fast. Thank you so much for taking time out of what I know is a very busy day for you to be a guest on Spotlight on Small Business. If you'd like to be a guest on Spotlight and shine a spotlight on your small business, just send an email to team@powernetworkingteam.com and we'll make those arrangements right away. Until next time, good luck and good networking, everybody.